I'd like to welcome you to NextGen Industrial Services. We would ask that you pay attention and note any questions that may arise throughout the orientation. I will share my contact information with you at the end of this presentation, and we will work on answering any questions you may have. Safety is our priority. We rely on every employee to be an integral part of our safety process. Our mission is to create a safe working environment for our employees. Teamwork, attitude, and integrity are imperative to accomplish this. The integrity of the individual is the backbone and responsibility of each employee to ensure a safe work culture. Having individuals who perform safely, even when there are no spectators, will propel our safety program to perform above and beyond expectations. This is our goal. Working as a team will provide a thorough overview of the vast varieties of work environments to ensure a safe work culture. Finally, providing a safe work environment will improve the attitude and overall morale of the NextGen employees. NextGen is an equal opportunity employer that does not discriminate based on actual or perceived race, creed, color, religion, alienage, national origin, ancestry, citizenship status, age, disability, handicap, sex, marital status, veteran status, sexual orientation, genetic information, arrest record, or any other characteristic protected by applicable federal, state, or local laws. This policy applies to recruitment and hiring, compensation, benefits, promotion, termination, and all other terms and conditions of employment. For more information on this topic, please consult with the employment law postings found in our office and/or break room. Our management team is dedicated to this policy with respect to recruitment, hiring, placement, promotion, transfer, training, compensation, benefits, employee activities, and general treatment during employment. The General Duty Clause states the responsibilities of NextGen to its employees. NextGen shall furnish to each of its employees employment and a place of employment which are free from recognized hazards that are causing or are likely to cause death or serious physical harm to its employees. NextGen shall also comply with OSHA standards promulgated under this Act. Your responsibility as an employee of NextGen is as follows. You must notify NextGen management immediately of any incident or injury while on site. This must be documented. You should obtain proper work permits prior to performing any work. You should maintain communication with the supervisor regarding the job status and any revisions. You are to ensure all housekeeping duties are performed. You shall follow proper emergency procedures. You shall ensure you are familiar with NextGen safety rules and federal and state regulations. Ensure that you read and sign the JSA for every task you perform. You shall know the identity and hazards of all chemicals you work with. Every crew shall have a job kickoff meeting prior to beginning each new project or shift to discuss possible hazards and relevant safety requirements for the job. Each crew shall hold a weekly toolbox meeting. It's mandatory to uphold these responsibilities to maintain a safe working environment. The general safety for all our work sites are as follows. Horseplay and fighting are strictly prohibited and are grounds for termination. Firefighting equipment, for example, fire hydrants, extinguishers, etc., is for emergency use only. Fire protection and safety equipment shall be kept free of obstructions. No firearms, alcohol, drugs, or explosives are allowed on NextGen property, including parking lots. Vehicles entering the shop, back lot, or construction sites must have prior approval from NextGen managers. Contractors are to immediately notify NextGen management of any damage they may have caused to property or equipment. Employees must observe good housekeeping practices. Materials shall be stacked safely and securely to eliminate the danger of falling or becoming tripping hazards for personnel. The employees shall park in the front parking lot unless otherwise authorized by NGIS personnel. Cameras are not permitted on NGIS property or work sites without prior approval from the NGIS management. All equipment, either owned, leased, rented, or brought onto NGIS work sites must be in safe operating conditions and meet or exceed all federal, state, and local regulations. Harassment in any form is strictly prohibited. Drugs or alcohol of any kind are strictly prohibited at the NGIS shop or job sites. Safety is the responsibility of every employee. Let's start with stop work authority. Who has stop work authority? The answer is everyone. Safety meetings should be held before each shift and include job-specific details. Housekeeping should be maintained throughout the shift. Lifting, pushing, and pulling should be done with the legs and good posture. Use mechanical means and the buddy system when available. Slips, trips, and falls are the most common accident, but also preventable. Housekeeping and situational awareness are very important. Ensure a job safety assessment has been performed for each task and the appropriate PPE is being utilized. Utilize the lotto procedure for every task. When performing duties within a confined space, ensure that all employees are properly trained and the policies and procedures are being followed. Be your brother's or sister's keeper. This does not include every policy and procedure. Ensure that you have read and understand the HSE manual and any relevant documentation for the job task you are about to perform. Clothing and PPE. NGIS has provided long-sleeve uniforms at no cost to the employees. These uniforms meet most of the requirements for working in the construction industry. They must be maintained by the employee for cleanliness and function. When working around flames, heat, sparks, or sharp material, the sleeves must be rolled down, trousers over your footwear, and shirt tails should be untucked. When performing work around rotating equipment, the employee should remove gloves, the long sleeves should be removed or rolled up, shirt tails tucked in, long hair tucked under the hard hat, and any dangling jewelry should be removed. Now, this is not an all-inclusive for your PPE, and a job safety analysis should be performed prior to performing the task to ensure all PPE requirements and safety policies are being followed. Incident and injury reporting. Any incident that occurs must be reported to your supervisor immediately. If an injury is sustained, it will be assessed, treated accordingly, and reported to the safety director within 24 hours. The incident and/or injury must be documented on the JSA by supervision regardless of severity. An investigation should be performed by supervision and the accident and injury report filled out completely before returning it to the safety director. Each work site must have an inclement weather and evacuation plan. Ensure that each shift leader has discussed this plan with the crew and that they understand the plan prior to starting any work. There should be an individual tasked with the responsibility of accountability to ensure that every employee has been evacuated and accounted for. There is an inclement weather and evacuation map posted on the pegboard at the shop office entrance. Posted with the map is specific plans for inclement weather and evacuation procedures. In inclement weather situations, the shelters are in the solid yellow highlighted areas on the map. If there is not enough room in the primary shelters, employees can shelter in the yellow hashed secondary areas. When evacuating, the employees can access the exits designated by the red arrows. The map is situated with the north orientated at the top of the map. The muster point for an evacuation will be on the east side of the east driveway. This can be found and is indicated by a sign on the outside of the fence once you cross the driveway. Attendance should be taken immediately to ensure everyone has been evacuated. PPE and hazard assessment. Every crew should perform a job safety assessment or JSA of the job task and familiarize themselves with any chemicals being used as well as the PPE requirements for the task. On the right is the NFPA diamond. The red is the flammability hazard. Blue identifies the health hazard. Yellow identifies the reactivity hazard, and white will give special specific hazard information. This diamond utilizes a 4-point scale, with 4 being the most extreme and 0 being zero reactivity. On the right in this picture is the GHS, or Globally Harmonized System. It utilizes pictograms to express the specific hazards. The first picture of a skull and crossbone expresses acute toxicity. This means fatal or toxic. Acute means that it will cause symptoms quickly. The second pic on the top expresses corrosion. This can cause damage to skin, eyes, and damaged metals. The third picture shows an exploding bomb. This expresses a substance that is explosive, self-reacting, or an organic peroxide. The second row begins with a picture of a flame. This expresses the substance is flammable, pyrorifics, self-heating, emits flammable gas, self-reactive, or an organic peroxide. The next picture shows an exclamation point. This picture expresses an irritant to the eyes and or skin. It's a skin sensitizer, acute toxicity, narcotic effects, respiratory tract irritant, and or hazardous to the ozone. The last picture on the second row is a human silhouette. This picture expresses a carcinogen, mutagenicity, reproductive toxicity, respiratory sensitizer, target organs toxicity, and or aspiration toxicity. The first picture on the last row is of a gas cylinder. This picture signifies gas under pressure. The next picture is a flame over a circle, or an O. This picture signifies an oxidizer. The final picture of the pictogram is of a tree and a fish, signifying the environment. This picture signifies an aquatic toxicity. Lockout, tagout, or LOTO. This next section will cover the procedure for lockout and tagout. Number 1, you will inform. Inform all involved parties of the intent to lock out and perform maintenance on the equipment. Second is to authorize. Only employees familiar with the LOTO procedure should perform the LOTO. They need to identify the energy source, the hazards of the energy source, and the procedure for isolating and controlling the energy source. Third, you will shut down. Ensure that the equipment is shut down using normal stopping procedures and the power switch is off. Fourth, you will deactivate. Disconnect the equipment from the power source, for example, unplug or shut off the disconnect. Fifth is the lockout. You will lock out and or tag out the power source. An employee assigned lock and tag should be used to properly identify who is authorized. Number 6, deplete. Try the equipment to drain any residual energy to ensure the equipment is in a controlled state. 7, verify. During the testing, check that no personnel are exposed in the area. Confirm that the equipment in operation are non-functional by attempting to power up the equipment. Immediately power off after verification is confirmed to be inoperable. At this time, the work can be performed. Number 8, restore. After the maintenance is complete, the power can be restored. Remove locks and tags and make sure the equipment has the proper components and guarding and that the work area has been cleared. Working at heights. All fall protection must be inspected by the user prior to being utilized and should be inspected by supervision weekly. Documentation should be provided for the inspections. Fall protection must be used when working at heights that exceed 6 foot from the lower levels unless specified at 4 foot by the location where the work is being performed. When rigging fall protection, it must be rigged such that an employee can neither free fall for more than 6 foot nor contact any lower level. All parts of the system should be able to withstand twice the potential impact energy of an employee free falling at 6 feet. All parts of the fall protection system should be inspected by a competent person prior to its use. Mobile equipment. Any equipment utilized by our employees should have an inspection done prior to use. A thorough inspection should be performed and documented before the use of any mobile equipment. Equipment inspection forms are available upon request and should be used for every piece of equipment, whether owned, leased, or rented. Hot work. Hot work is any process that can be a source of ignition for flammable materials or a fire hazard regardless of the presence of flammable material in the workplace. Employees should always ensure that all the required PPE is being utilized. Housekeeping is important and should be maintained around hot work. Have fire prevention and fire suppression equipment readily available before starting the hot work. There should be no combustibles, accelerants, aerosols, trash cans, etc. within 30 foot of the hot work being performed. Confined space. Any employee expected to work in a confined space or be a confined space attendant must have additional confined space training. Each employee should ensure all permits, such as work authorization, confined space permit, lotto, and air monitoring, have been acquired and filled out completely. Never let any part of your person cross the threshold of a confined space without authorization, all documentation, and training. Housekeeping. Housekeeping is everyone's responsibility. When your work with a tool or material is complete, put it away before pulling more tools or materials out into the workspace. Integrate housekeeping throughout the day. Do not wait until the end of the day to clean up. Good housekeeping practices ensure an efficient and safe work area. If you're new, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to you. And for the employees who have been with us, thank you for your past and continued service. Please be safe and reach out if you ever have any questions for us. Our contact information is listed below. Welcome aboard.